What is up, guys? Marble Tyler here, and the title of the video is going to say it all. Let's talk about E3. Just got finished watching the Nintendo Direct, so it's Tuesday when I'm recording this. It should come out today. If it doesn't, I'm really slacking, but let's just talk about the conferences and who won E3. Now, it's kind of hard to define, who had the best games, who had this or that, because, what games I like and I'm interested in might be 100% different from what you like. I may have thought this conference was completely stupid, and you may have said that was the best one by far. So this is an opinion piece, but let's just talk about some of the different aspects. Let's start with the show. Who had the best show, what was most interesting to watch and follow. And obviously, you know where I'm going with this. Sony dropped the ball. They had a really neat idea, which was, moving people and having, the first part of their show in a certain tent and then moving people to the rest. And that idea didn't really pan out. It was extremely slow, especially if you were watching online. It was like, cool, there's Last of Us 2, and then it was like, okay, now we have a panel talking about stuff, and then, they talked about a few things, and it was kind of cool, but why? It was kind of off-putting. So then they moved up to the next area, and they showed off tons of games. They finished with Spider-Man, and it was like, was that it? They showed off, not a lot. At least not even as much compared to some of the other, just publishers. Ubisoft and EA, Sony was on par with them this time around. It was kind of shocking. EA was also pretty low on the list, in my opinion. Not that they didn't have anything great, because they had a lot of cool stuff. But it was very much like hey, we know we messed up. We know Battlefront 2 wasn't what you wanted, and all the other games last year, we're going to fix it. These are the games we have coming out. They're not going to have premium. They're not going to have loot boxes. And, yeah, that's basically it. And I think that was great of them to do that, but that didn't make for the most exciting of shows. Ubisoft was just weird. It always is. You got Just Dance people starting out the show, all that cool stuff, but they honestly had some pretty great games. I had no interest in Starlink, and then they had Fox come out, and now I'm probably gonna buy it. I don't know. I'm considering it because it went from they knew how to pull people in. They had DLC for Mario and Rabbids. Division 2 looked really good. The only thing that would have made their show, top tier, was a Splinter Cell, even just a teaser saying, "Hey, we are gonna make it." Besides EA and Bethesda, or moving up, we have Bethesda. What am I saying? We had Bethesda, and I honestly feel like if you're interested in those games, it was an absolutely great show. Otherwise, you may have been bored, but I love Fallout, and I think 76 looks great because RPG elements were always my weakest point, not because I don't think they're bad by any means, but they're just not me. So it feels a little bit more like a shooter. They had a ton of knowledge on it. They had a lot of humor to their show with Todd Howard and everything else. I love the 2016 Doom, and they announced Doom Eternal. So for me, Bethesda was top tier. The show was interesting, easy to follow, lots of really cool things and jokes and things to keep it interesting the entire time. And then, obviously for me, Microsoft, I don't want to say they were the best conference. I'd probably say I enjoyed Bethesda's the most. But Microsoft kind of killed it this year. They had tons of games, and they weren't going to show off tons of exclusives they have. Because, yes, they have Forza Horizon 4, which looks amazing. And they're saying, hey, next year, or the year after, we're going to have, Gears 5, we're going to have Halo Infinity, stuff like that. But, they basically said, we have a ton of games coming to our platform. This is a great way to play. If you have a One X, it's the best looking console you could have. And they just killed it. They just showed off one after another. And they let their platform be something to announce things. We had Hitman 2 stuff. We had, what was that, Devil May Cry 5. Things that people are wanting that is we have it. You want it? It's on Xbox's show. It may not be exclusive, but it's on our show. We're going to hype you up. And of course, that final reveal of Cyberpunk, it kind of nailed it. So in terms of shows, I think Microsoft and Bethesda kind of took the case. Online, Sony's was very slow. Ubisoft's was good, but it had its weird moments. I'm not going to talk about Devolver Digital. I did watch their conference, and yeah, we're not going to talk about that one. And then, of course, the Nintendo Direct was always fantastic. I didn't talk about Square Enix either, but those were pre-recorded shows that were interesting. They were to the point. They showed off what we wanted to see. And those are probably up there. I put them one below Bethesda and Microsoft because I feel like the live reveal and the live show was a little bit more interesting, but they did a great job for both of those. So, if you want to know my order of who won in terms of the showcases, we had Bethesda and Microsoft. Then we had Square Enix and Nintendo Direct. Nintendo Direct probably above Square there. And then towards the bottom, we're looking at the EA. More so Ubisoft. Ubisoft's really in the middle, and then definitely Sony. Sony was really slow to watch, and they showed off some cool stuff, and I absolutely love Spider-Man. It's my #1 game for this year, but, I mean, their show was really slow. You can't lie about that one. In terms of the games, I don't know. I mean, every one of those conferences had something amazing to bring to the table. And it was like, yeah, they showed off some really cool stuff. I mean, Nintendo has a new Mario Party. They had Smash Bros. To bring to it. And just other cool stuff that's going to be, coming out for the Switch. And that it's a good platform to pick up, including Fortnite, available today. That's really cool. But then we have, on the same side, we have Sony. Sony brought Last of Us 2 and Spider-Man and Ghost of Tsushima and Death Stranding. All of those looked really good. I wish they had more to show than that, and then the Remedy game that we didn't know much about and stuff like that. Then you move over to Square Enix. They knew how to deliver on Shadow of the Tomb Raider and Kingdom Hearts. Ubisoft, besides Just Dance, of course, we had Division 2, and we had all the other great stuff that, Rainbow Six Siege and For Honor, where it's like, hey, we're going to continue to make these games better and better, which is a great feeling. It's all free, and that's really, really cool. So Ubisoft had their stuff. EA basically said, we're not letting Battlefront 2 die. We're going to bring stuff that you guys want. And it's still going to be free. There's no loot boxes in our future games, and Anthem looks really good. Just continuing on and on and on to make these things look better. And of course, Microsoft, they brought everything to the table. They brought Gears, they brought Halo, they brought a new skateboarding game. I mean, who knows? Including game companies, too. So everyone brought their A game. Besides Devolver Digital, of course. Everyone brought their A game, and so I think, like, in terms of who won in the games, what games do you want to play? In terms of this year, I feel like it's hard to say. I mean, I feel like Nintendo kind of took it home for the 2018 year of games, because from Microsoft, let's look at Halo and Gears. At earliest, 2019. That's a whiles away. At Sony, we had Spider-Man PS4 coming out in September, but after that, we have nothing until next year, or who knows, because they didn't even put any release dates out. So, for fall 2018, I mean, Nintendo's got Mario Party and Smash, and a couple other cool games coming out. Pokemon. I mean, I think they took the cake there. Ubisoft, we have Just Dance, we have Division 2's not coming out till spring, EA's big game, Anthem, not coming out till spring, Square Enix, Kingdom Hearts, not coming out till spring, so I think in terms of fall 2018, Nintendo wins this year. In terms of showing, I do believe Bethesda and Microsoft won the actual shows. In terms of games, I believe that Nintendo took the cake. Other than that, guys, let me know what you think. This is my opinion. This is after watching all the conferences, taking my notes because I'm a nerd, and kind of listing out what all is there. Other than that, I hope to see you in the game.